Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
Alright, so my parents were forcing me to go to church and youth group all my life, and they took me to this little church called Placerita Baptist Church. And at this church, it was different than the other churches we'd been to. It was smaller. The people were, I noticed that they were nicer, that they weren't hypocrites so much, but they really lived what they preached, and it was just weird. And, I hated them. I hated them a lot, but even though I hated them, and even though I would just push them away, they just kept coming back and just kept loving me, and it was just it was ridiculous. I hated it, I couldn't get them to leave me alone, and through that, God started changing my heart, and I remember this one girl named Catherine Salinas, and her dad had this terminal illness, and she just comes to the youth group crying and just talking about how her dad's gonna die, but God's so good, and that just hit me, the joy is just something that I've never seen before, it's just something that just was not natural, who rejoices that their father is gonna die, who can say that, okay, my dad's gonna die, but God's good, I didn't understand that, and so I just thought about that a lot. I never really truly repented. I started to fit in more, but that I wasn't saved. I started doing graffiti and just lying to my parents, lying to my friends at church, and this one summer it got really bad. Just all the things climaxed, and all my sin was just at its worst. And at the end of the summer, literally a week before starting my senior year, I got hit by a car going 45 miles per hour while I was running across the street, and I just woke up in an ambulance, or being lifted up into this ambulance, thinking that I was going to die, feeling the blood on my face, just delirious and just groggy, and the lights of the ambulance were just shining in my face, and I was just scared out of my mind. And I just thought about all the things that I had learned at Placerita Baptist Church, and I thought about all the people that had talked to me about the Lord, and just saw this was the point where God, if I did not accept Jesus Christ as my Savior, I was gonna go to hell, and I definitely was just I'd fallen in the hands of an angry God, but anyway, so I repented there. I just said, okay, God, okay, and just surrendered completely right there, and immediately, I felt the change, immediately I just felt the peace, that kind of peace that Catherine had, was just in my heart. All of a sudden I just felt fine about everything, about my life, and just things felt okay. The first change I noticed was that, I tried cussing a little bit when I got back to school, and that was just it felt weird, I'd always known it was wrong, but I never really cared. But now it was different. I started cussing. I was wait, this doesn't feel right, and I just stopped, instantly stopped, and that was just weird, and then my friends noticed a change, and they didn't think it was gonna last, but it did. I stopped cussing, I stopped doing the things that they did, and I started talking about Jesus. I started reading my Bible, not just glancing at it every once in a while, but actually reading it, actually just saying oh my gosh, this is not just another book, I can't read this like it's just another book. I lost most of my friends, and my friends still make fun of me, and I still love them, and I still think that God's gonna save them someday. But I was a slave to sin, but Jesus changed my life.